Well, I see form being taught that according to a textbook is right, but in real life you're not going to get big lats from it. I see people doing these big arcs, these semi-arcs when they do them, and I just, one of the reasons why I like a one-arm barbell row is because you have kind of a fixed plane, a fixed range of motion. You don't have to worry about the weight swinging, or you can just focus on your lat and you can grind on it. In a dumbbell row, you can do that, but most people have this, they're pulling it too high, or they pull it way down low on their hip to try to get their lower lat, and you can feel that more in your lower lats, but the exercise just becomes pretty useless.
Short, choppy too.
It's short, choppy reps. I mean, there's so many ways you can mess up a dumbbell row. And the way we do them is we also try to keep the hip up on the side we're rowing with, the same as we do with a barbell row, to put more pre-stretch on your lower lats, so your entire lat gets stretched. Instead of doing that, people will do the opposite. When they go to stretch, they lower that hip and nothing is stretching. It's just torquing your lower back. It's like, that's not a stretch. If you had that hip up and you were reaching, that's a stretch. And that's completely unnatural for most people. That's a form that you have to learn. That's not natural for anybody. So doing them that way, we really like them.
Fucking dumbbell row is like a burpee for bodybuilders. I mean, you're down there, you can't breathe. You got to contract. You're at 8 rep. It sucks. I don't like it. I mean, I don't like it. It sucks. I mean, you do one set and you got to do 2 sets for it to be one set. It's just stupid. But I agree with John. For years when I was powerlifting, when I would do dumbbell rows, they were always short and choppy, and I thought, I think still that suits that purpose because it's more of a restricted range sport, and that's going to build the heavier weight, the better stability and tightness you're going to have. When I first started to do dumbbell rows correctly after retiring from powerlifting, I couldn't do 40 pounds right. And even with the weight that we use here, most people would laugh at what we're using. It was 70, 90 pounds. But we're getting a ton out of it because you're not heaving, you're not using momentum and everything else, but I still fucking hate them. I can't stand them. I just hate it. It's just one of the exercises you just hate. Some people hate curls, some people hate calves. I hate dumbbell rows and deadlifts.
I grimace every time I see it in the program because it's same like Dave said, it's like a burpee for bodybuilding. You're all bent over like a dog fucking a football, and you're so out of breath, and it takes everything out of you for the workout. But,
purple you would get if you're like 50 pounds overweight.
Oh, it was last year me trying.
No reason. It just happened to fall that way. I mean, we wanted to do the grenade to kind of rest our arms up, knowing that we would use our arms a little bit on that. So there wasn't, other than that, though, no real reasoning. If you get your back big enough, it'll get wide. I've never seen just a gigantic back that didn't have any width to it. But I've seen wide backs that really were shallow, that lacked density. We were actually stretching pretty good on those away-facing pull-downs, what I would call, you could say that's widening. And also, even on the dumbbell row, if you think about it, the way we were doing it, lowering the weight, releasing your scapula, and stretching, I mean, that's really what a widener is, right? It's kind of releasing your scapula, letting your lat really pull. I mean, that's what we're doing. We weren't doing a short, middle range of motion exercise where it was just compression through the sweet spot of movement. I mean, it was a good long range of motion. So I think it's pretty debatable what's really widening. And my back is as wide now as it's ever been, and we do tons of what you would call traditional thickness exercises. But on some of them we do them with a shorter range of motion. A lot of them we do with a really exaggerated range of motion, and I think that's what helps. Back exercises are tricky because you can't really do a lot of the drops that you can with other body parts because your arms will give out. And so you got to be, like, if you notice the reps that we did 4, 4, and 4. That's going to work a lot better for your back on a drop set than say 10, 10, and 10. Because by the time you get it down 10, 10, and 10, your arms will be on fire. There's just no way around it. I don't care how good your form is. So, we do a little bit of that stuff, but that's pretty much it.
owner of Goedker